Hi, Joe Cerrone.
Al Rosen.
Welcome to our weekly Zoom classroom meeting for basic AutoCAD, CAD 116. This week, we'll be covering Module 6. If we take a look at the outline of topics, the outline of topics is located under Content. And then here's our outline of topics, and you can just click on this PDF right here to view it. I've already opened mine, so I'm just going to switch over that way. It's just a little bit faster. So we've been working quite a bit. We're at our 6th week of the class, and we're covering Module 6, which covers Chapter 12, Arranging and Patterning Objects. Next week is spring break, so we will not have a classroom meeting. And then when we return, we're going to go into dimensioning applications for both mechanical and architectural. We'll cover utility commands, and then we'll just continue to work through these chapters as we go. Remember to do the quizzes. There's a quiz at the end of each chapter. You should try to take the quizzes when you do the modules. And we realize that a lot of this is open-ended, so we don't have due dates for the quizzes. But if you don't do the quizzes, then you won't get the points, and that's sort of how that works. All right, let's go back to our main splash page, back to our area here. We've gone through and checked on assignments and grades, and so under the grading option, you should see your grades. I won't go there because if I do, I'll be displaying everybody's grade scores. But you should be able to see your grades. We had to relink that. There was a little glitch with that. With that, we're going to cover Module 6. If we look at the blue areas, the blues are reading. And so if I click on this, this is our link to AutoCAD. And let's see what happens if I open it. Yeah. And so this is just a reference for you, dimensions and standards, linear. This is what we used to use before we had D2L. Yes, Al?
No, that's all.
Okay. And so this is just reference material. It's good to look at while you're on your iPad. Some of the information may be a little dated, but it's excellent material. Things like how to set a viewport and a viewport scaling, and how to set dimensioning styles up to be able to automatically set the text size in the viewports. And so there's good content here. Switching back to the main page. Here's the lab for this week. Whoops.
Slippery little sucker, huh?
It is. Everything seems to be. And so this is an architectural application for the drawing. It's just a floor plan of a hotel room with the information here for the outside walls are 6 inches for this wall right here. That's the wall with the window. The other walls, I believe, are 4 or 5 inches. You'll have to read the drawing to see that information. Use the architectural title block, draw and modify commands to construct the floor plan. Use the correct layers. And then you can obtain the drawing symbols like the sink, the tub, the faucet, and the bathroom tub from Design Center. And so in previous sessions, we've talked a little bit about that, but it's under content where you can get these different symbols. And let's see if I can find it this morning.
Under 6. So just click on 6.
Right here. 6.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have Design Center in here?
It's the stuff they need is right there in front of them.
Okay, so that's the tutorial. Here's the PDFs, the drawing labs. I think there's a Design Center link though.
Right there.
Oh, okay. So you can get the fixtures right here. If I click on the sink and then I download it and I open it, it'll just open it as a separate file. But what you can do is you can draw the object as I have here, and then you can go to the drawing of the sink. And of course, it's the last one. There it is. And then you can copy it with a base point. And so if I turn on my toolbar, menu bar, excuse me, and I go to copy with base point under edit, specify the base point. And so I'll come here and I'll select the object. Make sure you get all of it, hit enter. Somehow I missed the base point. It'll go in at 0, but we'll make that work. And then if I come back to this drawing, I can then paste it. And there it is. It didn't quite work as smoothly as I'd hoped, but I'll move it. And so you can move that sink. And then if you want an oval shaped sink, you can do that. You'll notice that I'm snapping. It's not really being very kind this morning, so I can turn off the snap and place that. And then you can rotate that how you see fit for our sink.
So if you were looking for a design center is on content if you want to.
Yeah, direct me to where that's at, because that's an excellent tool.
Okay, go into content, please. Go down a little bit, please. Should be right underneath 6 an area. Right there, design center.
Where is it?
Keep going down, keep going down. Huh. It was just there. Go up on, there it is.
Yeah, let
Why
me
is
turn
it
it,
hidden by you? It shouldn't be hidden at all.
right. So let me turn it on. And now it's visible for students.
Yeah.
And so students can download the Design Center and use that for content. And so
And go ahead.
you need to unzip it. I'm just going to leave it in my downloads area right now. So I'll extract it.
And this has 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional in it at any time.
And this content you'll find useful for a lot of things. And so we do recommend that you start to collect different symbols and blocks. And so once Design Center has been extracted, then you can go into your CAD system like I have here. And if you type in, looks like I left my faucet. If I type in DC for Design Center, and then I navigate through it, I will find that I have, right now I use it for grading symbols, but I can also go into the area where I just downloaded that. See, it doesn't let me see downloads. This bothers me sometimes when I work with these computers. It seems to be changing all the time. Files on my folder, Windows. Yeah, it drives me nuts when I can't find it. There it is, downloads. So for whatever reason, AutoCAD seems to like to put that there. And then if I view this, let's see if I can.
Set it down below, Joe. Third row down.
Yeah, I'll see it this way. And so we have a design center that I just downloaded, and here it is, design center. And then if I open that, we have all these different furniture symbols and things like that. So if I want to get something like appliances and I want to add, let's say I want to add a refrigerator. Here's a nice compact refrigerator that I can add. And so I can just drag and drop these into the drawing. And it'll come in as a block. And so I can just say, all right, we'll just put this refrigerator right there. We'll want to scale it. So the default is 1. So hit enter and enter. And then here's my rotation angle. And I'll just rotate it this way. Let's just say 0. There we go. And so that's how you would insert different symbols and things, different. And then we can also, since these are 3D, you can also start to collect and learn how to start to model these things. Switching back to a top view. Glitchy computer, let me tell you, because I hit that twice. We'll come back to it when it feels like responding. There, it finally did. So, and here's, let's see what this one is here. I think this might be, yes. So here's the PDF of the assignment. And then back here, as we work through these links, B-size architectural paper. This is a DWT file, okay, which means it's a template. So when it opens, it does not have a file name associated with it, just drawing 6. And so you will save it as your initials and then that drawing 6. And so you could save it as, put it somewhere where you can find it. Seems that my computer keeps on renaming my file folder structure. Now it's files on this computer. I'll figure it out. I think I need a vacation, which is good news because next week is spring break. So that's saved, that's downloaded, and that works. And then here's the video for how to create this floor plan if I run it. Hi, welcome to the AutoCAD online course. We're going to take a look at you can invoke the closed caption. This is one of our AutoCAD videos. It's a YouTube video, so you can watch it without listening to it. And I think that works really quite well for me, actually. Sometimes the verbal commands don't always help, and I can just watch the videos. So that's how to create the floor plan. If I come back here and walk through it a little bit, looks like it's got all my playlist in here, which is okay. Nothing big, just some fish tanks and some solar systems and some AutoCAD. I've been finding that YouTube is much better than the TV. I can choose my content. But we go through here and we show you how to create all of these. Let me get rid of that. That's how we do that. And so we walk you through step by step how to create the floor plan drawing, how to put in the blocks, doors, windows, etc. And then how to set up the viewport with the proper scaling. It's a little bit older on the AutoCAD, but the commands still work the same. So I think you'll be fine with that. Switching back to the main splash page. And then here's the PDF again, just a redundant link. And here's the reading from the textbook. The reading covers chapter 12. So let's take a look at that. To get into the readings, we're going to go into the online textbook, and I'm just going to Google it. And so G-W online textbooks. And then I'll log in. Go to my bookshelf. And here's our AutoCAD textbook. And it was 12.
Wow.
Thanks, Al. I'll make this a little bigger. And so you should read the chapters. The chapters give you the content and the learning objectives. And so just commands like modify, commands like move, rotate, align, copy, mirror. Not sure what the reverse command is. I haven't really done much with that. But essentially how to move an object. You select the object, you give it a base point and a destination. Really straightforward stuff. Most of you guys, I think, are already onto that. So if I wanted to move my refrigerator, I can go here to move. And then I can select it, hopefully. My computer's glitching, so I'm not going to be able to demo that. Somehow it's been doing that. I think I'm going to need to reinstall. But my mouse is disappearing, as you can see. So basic move commands. Rotating objects works very similar, where you need a base point on the object, and then you can rotate that either by inputting a coordinate angle or by simply moving the mouse. Rotate. Aligning objects. The align command will set them up so that they're even. It's really kind of the same as move, you know, so some of the commands are kind of moot. They do the same thing. Copying, mirroring objects. This is something that you may come into, which is a lot of times we'll print things that are used in the graphics and you have to put the sticker on the back or you'll have to reverse the text. And so there is a variable called mirror text that if it's on, will mirror the text. If it's off, 1 being on, that's a binary value, 0 being off. So a lot of the settings in AutoCAD are binary. I think we'll stay away from this reverse command. I've never used it. I don't really see it as being something I would need to use, so we can come back to that. Here's our rectangular array, rows and columns. This would be a polar array. And then you can array things along a path as well. And then you can set up the distance and the spacing within those arrays. And so it actually automates that quite well. What you sometimes have to do is explode these to get them down to individual objects. Polar array will be a circular array around a base point in the center, kind of like petals on a flower. Rotation being on, rotate objects as they're copied, and non-rotating. Notice that all these cubes are horizontal in nature, whereas these are not. They're aligned. It rotates them at that increment angle. And again, how to use the array command within the ribbon. And here's along a path. So AutoCAD does everything. It does some really neat things as you start to work with it. Some of them we really don't always need, but you will use the array command. We use it quite a bit. You'll use these modify commands like move and copy. And then at the end of the chapter, we have these questions. They're bonus. You don't have to do them. But I do have people who turn them in every week. And if you want to be one of those guys that knows the software inside out, like a couple of the people that are turning in those problems, go through the questions at the end of the chapter. Al and I do them. They're really quite good. And it's a good way to spend some time rather than watching television. Here's some examples of how to use electrical schematics, two-dimensional work, and how to make a nice chair with cushions on it. And so there's quite a bit of work at the end of the chapters if you are interested, but for our purposes, one assignment this week, our assignment this week is to do this hotel floor plan and then to take a break next week. And then we'll continue on working on our drawings as they have been outlined in the outline of topics. Okay, so that's our quick review for this week's Zoom meeting. I'm going to turn it back to Al if he has any other comments, and then I'll end the recording and open things up for questions.
No, not at this time. Just make sure you start doing the quizzes. They're set up, ready to go for you. They're open, no time limit on it. Let's see. Anything else? Make sure you get all your drawings in so we can grade them, please. And have a nice, comfortable week off. We'll see you next week, not next week, the week after.
Sounds great. So with that, I'll end the recording and we'll post that, and then we'll see you online in 2 weeks. All right, this ends our recording for this week's Zoom meeting.